And we are live on this Thursday talking rock with you as we do every day here on Sirius XM 103 Faction Talk and anytime on the Sirius XM app. So it was a few months ago that we world premiered the brand new single and the first ever single from Mick Mars as a solo artist. And that was great. We had Mick on talking about it. And I said at that time, when the record's actually closer to release and about to come out, we should talk a little bit more about it. And that record, his debut solo album, The Other Side of Mars, is out tomorrow. So good time to catch up with Mick for another round and chat a bit more about it. And he joins us live right now. Mick, how you doing, bud?
Good. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. So, I was thinking about it. It's been a few months since Loyal to the Lie came out, and some other singles have been released, and the full album is, of course, as I said, coming out tomorrow. But now that people have had a chance to hear some of these songs, and you've had a chance to talk to a lot of other people about the record, what's the vibe you're getting? How you feeling about it?
I'm still a little apprehensive. I think that everybody does that, though. Are they going to like it, or they're not going to like it? You know how it is. So, yeah.
Are you have you kept close tabs on response, and are you somebody that keeps an eye on comments and reviews and stuff like that for the songs you put out already?
Oh yeah, every day. I check it out. It's all been positive too. Really good.
Oh well, that's good, because you got to have a thick skin to do that, because there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there that will easily say if they don't like it too.
Well, that's all right. I was just. I got to keep reinventing myself, I guess. I don't know. I really don't know if people would be offended by it. There's not that much keyboards, but there is, yeah.
No. I meant keyboard warriors, meaning people that sit behind their computers and are very brave and say stupid shit, not keyboards on your record.
Oh, okay. Well, my misunderstanding. I'm sorry. I don't know. They're going to say what they're going to say, no matter good, bad, or indifferent.
Were you always like that, Mick, with stuff you've done, even the Motley records or live shows? Were you somebody that just kind of tuned it all out, or did you always keep tabs on what fans were saying and what the responses were?
Well, it's one of those kind of things. It's like there's going to be, the people that love it. There's going to be people that, yeah, it's okay. And then the ones that go, absolutely, that's trash, So it's after so many years of playing and touring and doing all that stuff, I've grown very, very used to it, I guess. And I accept it. It's easy, It's like that.
By the way, we should tell the audience that Mick is okay with taking a couple phone calls and saying hello to you guys. So if you want to get on the air with him, we'll take a couple calls in a bit. 844-686-5863 is the phone number. Mick, from the people who have heard the record or even the songs that you've released so far, what's been the biggest thing? Because for me, people I know that have heard the record, and we touched on this last time you were on, it was the direction you decided to take, the type of record that you made, that it's a heavy, modern sounding rock record. A lot of people assumed or thought you were going to do more of a throwback kind of blues vibe. What are you picking up a lot of that from people you're talking to too, that the overall feeling is it's great, but it's not what they expected?
Yes, there's quite a few of those. Many people expected, like more of a, excuse me, bluesier type record, or, more of a, my idea was to really just do a pretty diverse kind of a record, and kind of like feel out where I wanted to go with my music, because I didn't want to repeat myself, like, so yeah, it is what it is, I guess, but yeah, people are surprised of how it is, but they didn't know what to expect. And I'm glad that they like it.
Well, yeah, you know, the response I think has been great. Again, that's the only thing is people are like, wow, this is this is a totally different thing that they would have expected from you. But that being said, there is a lot of diversity in the record. And I want to ask you now that the album's coming out tomorrow and a lot of people have had a chance to hear it. I want to ask you about because this record went through a lot of ups and downs. We talked about it in the last interview. I mean, you started working on this. When did you first have the idea to do a solo record? How long ago?
2014, I think, or 2015, the final tour. Right after that.
So 10 years.
Just about, yeah. You know, give or take. Yeah, you know, it's like writing and writing and writing. Go, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. This is a good idea. You know, and that kind of stuff. Yeah, like 10 years, and then I had, we did the stadium tour thing, and of course, Motley came first. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm back with, you know, Motley and put my stuff on the back burner again. So, you know, it took a while.
What would you say was the biggest obstacle?
About writing this record?
Yeah, writing it, getting it out, getting the right people on board. I mean, were those all the biggest problems and why it took 10 years?
Oh, no, I would say more me. If it didn't feel right to me or sound right after I listened back to it, I wouldn't use it. I would actually delete it, you know, so it didn't accidentally end up on something. So no, I think the problem was more of you know, satisfying myself, I guess, and just to kind of like feel out like, you know, who was digging the direction I'm going, you know? So that was it.
Was there a lot of stuff, Mick, that being that this record took 10 years to make, was there a lot of material that didn't make the record that you kind of put on the side and might revisit at another time, or did pretty much everything you said you deleted, did you actually physically delete stuff that you didn't like after you did it?
Yes. Yes. It's no longer there. So, but on my Pro Tool things, and people who have Pro Tools know, and I'm sure that you know too. Can you repeat that question? I lost myself.
Did you the stuff? So you physically deleted stuff, but was there still stuff that you kind of liked, but you just didn't feel like it fit on this record that you held on to? Is there a lot of extra material that we haven't heard?
There's a few things that didn't make the record because they weren't quite done, but really good ideas, and I still have them, of course. And in the meantime, I've written, you know, a handful of other brand new material that I'm really, really liking a lot, and very, very solid ideas, you know, for the next record. If you know, I could get a chance to do a next record, you know what I mean? But really, really solid, really heavy, really solid, and not. Eddie, I think we talked about this a couple of times before. It's like I'll never try to out heavy the really heavy bands, but you know, my own guitar heaviness, I guess, you know. But I don't know, just one of those.
So have you co-produced this record with Michael Wagner, and did you do this? You have your own studio in your house. Did you do this in your home studio?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And,
because sometimes, go ahead.
No, I was waiting for you to finish. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, because sometimes that I've heard from artists who have their own home studios, and sometimes they've told me that contributes to taking a long time to make a record as well. Because if you go into a studio and you're paying hourly or a day rate, you know, you want to get the thing done and get in and out of there. When you can walk down your stairs and go in your own studio and toil around for as long as you want, it could become that process where it's like over and over and over again, and you just get into this crazy cycle.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's a good Yes, I feel like when I have to go into the studio, I feel, oh, this cost me a ton of money, which is why I put up my own studio, so I could really take my time and listen to stuff and go like, I can do that better. If it's a good song, I can do that better, or I can go, that's the best take. I don't need to do it again. So I got the luxury of doing that kind of a thing, as opposed to being, really pressured. And it's, I think it shows on just about anybody's record that does it at home and does it in the studio. Sometimes you just have to live with a mistake that you made, and you didn't realize it. I don't know. I prefer my own stuff.
Mick, I want to ask you about a couple tracks on this record that jump out at me. There's one, and I touched on this last time you were on. There's a track on this record called Broken on the Inside, which I think that's the one that ends completely crazy. I have the CD now. Steve sent me a CD, which is my preferred way to listen to music, and I put it in my CD player yesterday, and I forgot about that track, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, and the song comes to an end, and I'm like, oh shit, I got to get a new CD player. The laser must be going or something. And I was like, turned around, and I looked, I go, wait, it's tracking just fine. And then I remembered that track, for people that don't know what we're talking about, you ended that track to make it sound like not an album skipping, but really like a digital skip. Tell me about the idea of doing that, because it really is effective.
Yeah, well, on purpose, of course. It's something to go like, well, here's this song, and like Loyal to the Lie, and then followed up by Broken on the Inside. Well, maybe I broke something on your radio, on your CD player, or on your turntable, or just to play around and do something a little weird and different, But,
yeah, I've never heard that done. It'll definitely keep you on your toes.
Yes. So listeners, don't think anything's broken. It's purpose, but you're going to like it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And a couple other tracks that I really love. One of the standouts for me is Undone. Can you tell me the history of that one?
Oh, well, it's one of those kind of things. It's like, I guess, loosely based on a relationship, man or woman, or whatever, somebody passing away or whatever. That feeling you have for that person wasn't completed. It's undone. So it's like, kind of based on that, but it's like also, I wanted more of I like kind of like cinematic or dramatic kind of music a lot too. So, that's kind of where it's coming from. It's like that kind of more orchestrated stuff instead of like screaming in your ear kind of stuff. But I still like screaming in the ear kind of stuff. But that's kind of the basis on that song,
The other track one of the other tracks I wanted to ask you about, which for people that are looking for a bluesier approach to what you're doing, the last track on the record is an instrumental called L.A. Noir. And I think that I love that. And I love your playing on that. I love that ending the record. Was that a song that originally was going to have lyrics, or was it an instrumental the whole time?
Well, it was supposed to have lyrics, but I didn't know what to write about it. So it's like, actually, I wrote that, I don't know, 20, 25 years ago, I guess, the initial lick, right? And I had wanted to put lyrics on it, but, with all the other stuff I had going on, it was like, hard for me to do. I'm not very good at that. And I needed one final song for this record. So I dug that one up, and did, an instrumental with it. So, it's all I had.
Would you ever have any interest in doing an instrumental record? a guitar-based instrumental record? Does that appeal to you at all?
I, I, I think that if I did that, it would be boring. It's like, really, I think it would be boring. But
do you like records like that personally? Do you listen to, whether it's Satriani or Vai or guys like that? Is that of interest to you, or you more of a, just a traditional song guy?
I mean, I like listening to certain songs, by those guys, and Steve Morse, of course,
sure,
him as well, and but yeah, I'm more of a guy that wants to, lyrics. So it's like, I don't know, honestly, Ed, I don't really know what I'm going to do next, but honestly, I don't think it'd be like full instrumental kind of a thing.
But you do have a desire to do a follow-up to this? Have you would like to make another record?
Oh yeah. I like I said earlier, I have 5 really solid ideas. I mean, like really solid.
And Mick, on this record, we know that Jacob Bunton sang the bulk of the record. Did he write lyrics? Did you, or do you write lyrics? I'm curious. Did you write lyrics on here as well?
Not much. More Paul than anyone.
Paul Taylor.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I got based on ideas, and I go like, "Hey, can we do this like this?" And Paul goes, "Yeah, sure." And does that kind of stuff. But he's really good at that. Me, I'm good at guitar playing and writing.
But have you ever, were you ever a guy that wrote lyrics? Like, even in Motley, we know Nicky wrote the bulk of the lyrics, but did you ever write lyrics, or was that all him and Motley for the most part?
It was, Nicky wanted to do lyrics. So it was like really, I don't think there was anybody in the band aside from him that would write the lyrics.
Right.
So, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was that way.
The other thing, Mick, before we grab a couple calls here, is the fact that we know that because of your physical condition and your health, that unfortunately the idea of touring is not really going to be possible. But have you thought, is there any side of you that would like to be able to do a live show, even if it was like all in one location, or you live in Nashville, just doing 1 or 2 shows that would be easier and convenient for you without the travel? Have you toyed with those ideas, or is playing live for you at this point totally off the table?
Playing live is the easy part, right? A lot of people go, "Oh, I get so tired." No, traveling is. So if say a few of the Nashville clubs around here, or one-offs here or there, or residency or something, it's the same offer, that I give Motley too. It's like, if you want me to do this or do this, I'm here, I'm available. Extensive touring is way out. I mean, that stuff hurts me bad, really badly. The airports, right. Going through the airports, checking in, checking out, jumping in the car, taking the bus, going, that stuff's a little rough. So,
well, I know when Motley toured, when you traveled on your own bus, and you didn't have to deal with planes and all of that. So, I mean, I would think maybe a scenario like Nashville, or even if you just went to one city, whether it be a place like Vegas, New York, LA, just one trip you took comfortably, yeah. And then you set up shop there and you just said, "Hey, look, I'm going to play 5 shows. Come see me." People that want to see you would travel to come see you, I would think.
Yeah, I can do that. Because residency, you're in the same building. You just get in the elevator and go up and sleep or whatever it is that you do. But yeah, I could do that. That wouldn't be hard at all. And doing one-offs, wouldn't be that difficult. But as far as like the extensive touring I did with Motley, way out of the question.
Right.
I can't do that anymore.
So for people that are hoping to see you play live again with your own band in this case, that's not out of the question. That's something you will entertain.
Yes, I could. Yeah, I would entertain the ideas, but you know, to see how it is, and you know, I'm not looking for like, you know, the extent, you know, the hey, can you do one night here, one night here, one night? No,
Sure.
I can do that, but you know, but if they go like, hey, we're going to do this one night here, and I'm like, say, Salt Lake City, just for the heck of it, and somebody goes, well, we want you to play in Sacramento, which isn't that long of a trip, but it is for me. You know what I mean? Or you know, I wouldn't be able to do multiples like that. It's like a one-off, come home and say like, you know, a month or so later to go like, here's a one-off here. That's fine. You know, that kind of stuff. Residency, yeah, but like I say, around the world, no, I can't. No.